Today's April 17th. It's day 107. Reading is 1 Kings 12 through 14. I'm going to make this quick. Right off the bat, I see problems in chapter 12. The Israelites are saying to some dude named Rehoboam, who's, I believe, it's the grandson of Solomon, apparently the firstborn son, because apparently he inherited the land, or is going to inherit the land from his father Solomon. And the Israelites said, help us, your father's put a heavy yoke on us. Basically, I guess back then, supposedly, people were, the people were all slaves of the king. That's what it sounds like from this, from what I'm reading here. And they said, he's put a heavy yoke on us. In other words, like he's expecting a lot from us and probably beating them and all that stuff that happens with slavery. Can you, and they said, could you, if you now lighten the harsh service and the heavy yoke your father imposed on us, we will serve you. I don't understand what they mean by that. Is like, do you want to kill the father? I don't know, was he Rehoboam over them as in like their supervisor? I don't understand how that works. And Rehoboam went to the elders, and they said if the elders asked him what the advice, the elders basically told him, if you'll be the servant of this people and submit to them, giving them a favorable answer, they will be your servants forever. Well, it just says giving them a favorable answer. That's kind of white speak for, what do you call it? Lip service, saying you're going to do something, not actually doing anything in the end. So, instead of listening to that, Rehoboam went to, I guess, his friends of the same age. Oh yeah, young men who had grown up with. And they told him, tell the people that my finger is thicker than my father's body, whereas my father put a heavy yoke on you, I will make it heavier. My father beat you with whips. Well, oh, yep, they were beating. But I will beat you with scorpions. Why would you even tell them that? I don't understand. What? So anyways, Rehoboam listens to his friends more and ignores the elders, and that's what he told the Israelites, that the Jews, and basically, I guess they basically said, we don't owe you anything anymore, we're not going. I think this is what they mean. In verse 16 it says, what share have we in David? We have no heritage in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel, now look to your own house, David. So I'm thinking they're basically saying, we owe you nothing, we're going to do the best we can to get the hell out of here and forget you. I think that's what they're saying. And I don't remember what, apparently this was against God, though. Thus says the Lord, you must not march and fight against, and from what I understand, okay, there's too many people, too many names, I can't keep everybody straight. Apparently this dude named Jeroboam, now, this is kind of like a nod and a wink to stupidity, if anybody believes this, because Rehoboam was the one that was oppressing them. Jeroboam is the one that's supposedly going to save them. Do you see how stupid this sounds? So Jeroboam apparently comes in the midst, and they said, if you, Jeroboam, who I don't know, like some dude shows up, because Jeroboam, according to this, he really isn't anything. Jeroboam is the son of Nabat, who is still in Egypt, where he fled from King Solomon. Who is this dude? This is a nobody. But anyways, if people go to him and say, if you rule over us and treat us nice, whatever, we'll be forever servants to you. but basically will forever be your slaves. Why not wish to not be a slave at all? Okay. There's a thought. And who is this dude that just walks in? I mean, this is just where this fallacy, whoever believes this nonsense, is just stupid. Anyway, so Jeroboam basically ran out Rehoboam. But then I think Jeroboam, if I read this right, Jeroboam makes these idols, calves. I guess they're gold. 2 calves of gold, yeah. Worship, this is your God, worship them. So Jeroboam, it says Jeroboam caused, I swear it said Jeroboam caused the Israelites to sin. I don't know why they use that terminology. Does that really mean? I don't know. Anyways. I can't remember. I should have written all this down because I can't remember all this stuff. So it said a man of God came from Judah. It doesn't give this man a name. Good, because they don't give women names in here. And he said to Jeroboam, you're causing the people to sin. Later on, kind of like prophecy says later on, they're going to be making human sacrifices. I don't know if live sacrifices or dead sacrifices. Basically, which dead sacrifice would just be cremation, so I don't see how. I don't know. God gets offended by a lot of stuff. I don't understand it. But anyways, he says, the ashes shall be scattered. You'll be scattered. You'll be destroyed because of your causing them to worship, the Israelites, the Jews, to worship idols. And so Jeroboam says, seize him, grab him, because I guess they were going to kill him or something. I guess he got mad at him, whatever. But when he went to grab him, this man with no name, his hand shriveled up. So he could not draw it back, which I don't even understand what that means. And that's when the altar broke up and ashes were strewn everywhere. It just sounds really stupid. Like some bad, CGI film. So anyways, then Jeroboam said to the man with no name, call your God, tell him to heal my hand. And he did. And Jeroboam says, come with me and I'll give you a present in my house. You can eat, blah, blah, blah. The man with no name says, no, I can't do that. God instructed me not to. Then he came to another man further down the road. And this man said, God told me to have you come into my house and eat. And so the man with no name did go into the house, while during the meal, the man who invited him into the house, who was a prophet, said, because you didn't listen to the Lord God and you came in here to eat, then you're going to die or something. And it's like, wait a minute. This dude's a jerk. He just invited him. He lied to him to get him into his house to eat. Why? I don't know. What he wanted the company. This makes no sense. And so then he's telling him that you're going to die for not... What? So anyways, he said that you're going to die soon or something. And then sure enough, after he was done eating, he got on his donkey or whatever, starts going on his way, and a lion killed him. And I guess passersby saw it, told the prophet who got him killed, and the prophet went and picked him up and buried him in some tomb or wherever, some plot that he had for his own burial. Now, I don't even know what the point of that story was. Just to show that God's scatterbrained and vindictive. Is this the one where they said he was like David? Oh, no, that's the next one. That's tomorrow's reading. Yeah, tomorrow's reading. Anyways, chapter 14, Abijah. I don't know if Abijah came up before, but it was the son of Jeroboam, the one who was ran out of this, or no, the one who had him worshiping calves. His son got sick, and he told his wife, go to disguise yourself and find the prophet Ahijah. And again, this is a nod and a wink to this is a lie, because Jeroboam's son Abijah, the one who was sick, that's his son. That's the name of his son. Now the prophet is Ahijah. Anybody seeing this as just downright stupid? Okay, so Ahijah was the prophet. She was supposed to disguise herself so Ahijah won't recognize her. She wants her to find out. She wants her to ask him, like, what's going on with the son? Is he going to make it? Is he going to be a ruler? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like he wouldn't figure it out anyways, because, like, why would anybody, just some random woman, come and ask about Jeroboam's son? Nobody would care except Jeroboam and his wife and his friends of his. Anyway, so Ahijah, the prophet, recognizes her right off the bat. And she says, why? He says, why do you disguise yourself? Which, good question. Why was she disguising herself? Anyway, she asks the question, what's going on with the son? And he says, your son's going to die. And, just a bunch of nonsense about condemnation of your, what was it, of the city was, okay, it does say, as you step inside the city, the child will die, and all Israel will mourn him and bury him. The Lord will strike Israel like a reed tossed about in the water, and pluck out Israel from the good land which he gave their fathers, scattering them. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is where in the King James Version it talks about men pissing on the side of the house. It might be later on, because I read the wrong verses in the King James, but yeah, it's really funny. I mean, it's just so silly the way they say things. I mean, it just sounds Lord of the Rings type speak, and it just reeks of fallacy and legend and tales and myths, mythology. It's just talking about how Israelite will suffer. And I don't know why should Israel suffer because of Jeroboam? I mean, again, this is just God blanket punishing for one person's sin. I don't understand that. So anyways, yeah, when she reached back her house, when she went back and as she reached her house, her son died. And why is she being, why does the son have to die for Jeroboam's sin? Why does, the woman gave her life and her whole body to birth this child. This probably caused prolapse, perineal tearing, all this stuff, Back then they probably got osteoporosis and all other sorts of diseases because they didn't have the nutritional supplements that we have now to make sure that this doesn't happen. I mean, it really takes if you don't have proper nutrition, which they didn't back then, this really takes a toll on your body. And probably about 30% of the babies died in childbirth, and probably, 10% of women died in childbirth. She literally gave her life for this child. Why should she have to suffer with the death of her child because of what her husband did? Some nonsense her husband did. This is just a dickhead of a God. But women don't matter. It doesn't matter what women. If we're punishing the men, and if you women, if the women get punished in the meantime, oh well. So, Anyways, Rehoboam was 41 when he became king, reigned for 17 years. Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord. I don't understand that because Judah was being held up for so long. I'm assuming this means the tribe of Judah, not Judah himself, because I think Judah's far gone dead by this time. And it's talking about they had idols and cult prostitutes, whatever that even means. I don't know. So I guess God's going to get back at Judah, or the tribe of Judah, for this. Anyways, it just talks more about war. And that's it. Close curtain. So that's it for today. It's just making more nonsense. Anyways, here's my snowman. Still has no arms. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. I think I'll try and sell it without arms. Maybe add arms later if it doesn't sell. Bye.